This is I'm actually very surprised that um, a verdict was reached so quickly in terms of the Ryan Ruth case. Ryan Ruth was the guy who tried to kill Donald Trump the second time around. The one who killed him, who tried to kill him in Butler, Pennsylvania. I don't remember his name and I don't care to remember his name. He was killed by the Secret Service, rightfully so. That was recorded for the world to see. But this other loser tried to kill Trump in Florida in his golf course there in Palm Beach. Was trying to wait for him to get closer, apparently, and he was foiled. Some security guy caught him. He ran away, and police found him and put him in custody. And he went through trial. He represented himself, which is a stupid thing to do. And even lawyers say that if they were arrested, they wouldn't represent themselves. Well trained lawyers say if they were arrested, they will not represent themselves. It's never a good idea to represent yourself. Um, and people know this. I think he did that for attention. But he's been found guilty. And you know what old boy did? He tried to he tried to kill himself. I don't think he tried to kill himself. I think he just tried to get attention. I mean, nobody's going to be able to kill themselves with a knife, with a pen. Apparently, when he was in court and the judge or the jury was reading out their verdict, uh, he got up and he took a pen that was on the desk next to him and he tried to stab himself in the neck. I mean, that's a half-hearted suicide attempt. That's attention. He probably wishes he was dead. He probably wishes he was dead, but he knew that that pen wouldn't do anything. He was just panicking, and apparently his daughter, his mental. I mean, I wonder if all of his family are freaks. His daughter was screaming, "He's innocent! He's innocent! Don't do this, Dad! Don't do this!" And when they were transporting him to the prison, she's running at the vehicle and all. They sound like effed up people. But you see, this is why I know a lot of right wing leaning people like me believe in the death penalty, but I don't believe in the death penalty. I don't believe in it. And this is a perfect example why I don't believe in the death penalty. I mean, what do these types of criminals who have done these heinous crimes, what is the last step that they try to do? They try to kill themselves. I mean, let's take a look at. I mean, this guy didn't try to kill himself. He was probably so stupid he thought he'd get away with it. He was probably such a narcissist he thought he would get away with it. And now that he knows, look, he's gone through the legal system and he knows his path is jail, and it's probably either going to be life or at least 30 years. I mean, the crime was in Florida. In Florida, they don't play games. But look at all these major criminals, the school shooters. Um, when these little school shooters do what they do, the last thing they do on this earth is kill themselves. The Sandy Hook shooter did it. The Virginia Tech shooter did it. All these school shooters, the Uvalde, they all shoot themselves. Some of them don't because I think they're either so stupid or so narcissistic that they think they'll get away with it. Case in point, the Stoneman Douglas shooter. You know, these guys, they shoot themselves. There was a shooting just now. Today is Wednesday, September 24. And there was a guy who shot up some ice facility in Texas. And either he shot himself or he tried to make it so police would shoot him. The Columbine shooters, they shot themselves. They killed themselves because they don't want to face the consequences of what will happen. I mean, The guy in Isla Vista, the incel killer, I can't remember, Elliot Roger, I think his name was. Um, he even said on his videos that I'm not going to rot in some jail for the rest of my life and suffer and all this stuff. I'm going to either kill myself or get the cops to kill me. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he was trying to get accomplished, and he did it. You see, this is why I don't support. And it would be okay if the death penalty was a vicious death penalty, like a crucifixion or being whipped to death, or if you guys follow JD Delay, he advocates for the wood chipper. The wood chipper, brother! The wood chipper! JD Delay, he was in prison for it's a guy I've been following on YouTube. I don't know him anywhere, but I follow him on YouTube. Big old beard, white dude. The wood chipper. Put these chomos in a wood chipper, brother, and have it live streamed. I would support that. But in the West, America, Europe, those places, death penalty is humane. You get a little needle, you don't feel it, and you just die. It's painless. But if you get sentenced to life in prison in the West, you are put in a prison forever. You are fighting for your virginity. You're fighting for your life. You are dodging the other prisoners. I mean, a lot of these mass killers, like let's take for example the guy who tried to kill Trump. Well, let's put it this way. He's going to be in a prison somewhere in either Florida or somewhere in America. I don't It'll probably be Florida. Florida's a very red state. Red Republican Trump loving state. Used to be a swing state, but it's becoming a red state. There are a lot of people in jail who love Trump. And not all of them are good people. A lot of them, there's white supremacists, Aryan Nation, skinheads. You got some crazy, all them, well, the January 6 people have been pardoned, but you got some right wing crazies in there in the prison. And when they hear that you tried to kill Trump, it, look, you better avoid them. Because one thing about prison, and I've learned this because, look, I've been in jail before. These guys have imagination. And this guy tried to stab himself, in my opinion, in a half-hearted attempt. If he wants to get stabbed, he's going to the right place, but it will be a very slow and painful death. I have heard stories of people in prison stabbing another inmate with a syringe filled with AIDS blood. Now that's a vicious way to die. And that's a slow and painful death. I mean, the syringe won't exactly kill you, but if you get stabbed with a syringe filled with AIDS, HIV blood, and he pushes the button, you have AIDS, HIV blood in your system, and you'll have AIDS, and you'll die of it slowly. And the prison, I mean, yes, we've made advances with medicine when it comes to AIDS, but prisons are not the best way to get treatment. The guards, they're very lazy, they don't care. They think you're scum, they think you're trash. I mean, not all of them, but I haven't been to prison long enough as long as other people, but from my experience, these people don't care about you. And you get it, and you get the thing, and you know they'll insult you, they'll do everything. If they see that you're legitimately suffering, they'll send you to the nurse, and the nurse herself doesn't really care. Give you two tablets, send you back to your cell, and you'll suffer. You will get worse treatment than somebody who doesn't have the proper coverage. The bum on the street who's not in prison will get better health care than you in jail. And jail health care is free. And I'm talking to my American brothers and sisters. People are out to get this guy. Now, this guy is most likely going to be in protection custody. solitary confinement because he's a high profile prisoner. So he'll be in the solitary confinement. But there are still ways that those prisoners can get to those people. As I said, these people have imagination. Case in point, he still has to eat. And one of the things with these high profile criminals, if the judge really wants to hurt you or be a dick to you, like if the judge, like for example, the Stoneman Douglas case, you know what the judge did? Judge Shearer, whatever, Elizabeth Shearer, I think her name was. You know what she did to that shooter? Because Florida had made a law that he couldn't get the death penalty. So she had no choice but to give him life in prison. But you know what old girl did? Judge Shearer? She said, okay, you're going to have life in prison. And not only that, the money that you get when you're in prison, because people in prison get money. They can get money from their family or their fan girls or whatever. And these high profile people have a lot of fan girls. Some people are effed and they give these people their money. So they'll give them money and they can use that money to get special meals. Because, prison is like a local community. You can buy meals, ramen noodles, you can get iPhone chargers. You can get televisions for your prison if you're on good behavior. But you know what that judge said? Any money, she said, you're getting life in prison, and the victim's family has to get a certain amount of money. I can't remember how much it was. And if you can't pay it outright, which he couldn't, because it was supposedly a lot of money, and no normal person has that amount of money. Any money that you get for your canteen, which is money that prisoners get from wherever, goes to the family. So any money that he gets for from now until whenever goes to the family. So he doesn't have any money for his canteen. He can't buy special meals. So Nicholas, I don't want to use the name, the shooter of Stoneman Douglas is is penniless in prison. Any money that his step parents give him or his fangirls give him goes to the family until the money that the judge orders is paid off. So he has to rely on the prison food and the prison clothes and the prison this. He has to rely on the prison. And you know what those prisoners will do? They're the ones who cook the food. Prisoners are usually the ones that cook the food. So when they see that there's a tray going to Nicholas Cruz, I don't know if they have their name on it. The prison I was in had names, but if they realize that they are making a meal for Cruz, for the shooter or some high profile person, and they can't get to him because he's in protecting custody or solitary confinement, they'll spit in his food. They will break glass and put it in his food. They'll put bleach in his food. They will, and forgive me for my crude language, but they'll masturbate in his food. They'll pee in his food. And you know something? It's easier to do that than not. The people who guard the jails, the COs or the deputies or the watchers, the whatever, a lot of times they'll turn the other way. They are so corrupted, they couldn't care less. And also they are afraid of their own life. Because a lot of times these officers who guard the prisons, they're attacked too, so they better not piss off these prisoners. I've seen this, and they'll give it to these high profile people and they'll eat it. And they will eat it because there are people when they serve the food, they're also assigned to check on the prisoner and they'll see that he ate it. That is what life is. Is prison is not a nice place. If I commit a crime, a deadly crime where I will never escape prison again, just kill me humanely. Just kill me because I don't want to go through what these prisons will put me through. Prison is a vicious, violent place. And if you're there for life, oh my goodness gracious. So this guy tried to stab himself with a pen, Ryan Root, the guy who tried to shoot Donald Trump the second time. And he comes across as a narcissist. He's not going to have a good time. There are people in prison waiting for him to give him a hard time. Give him a hard time. And I think at least he will serve 30 years. But I don't think he will survive 30 years. He'll definitely not survive life because life means you're there until you're dead. But if I think at least he'll serve 30 years, he's not going to survive that. Ryan Ruth is too old. He's too frail. He won't survive prison for 30 years. He's a narcissist. He thought he was doing right. He's a big mouth. And he's effed. And there are a lot of people in prison who want to kill for Trump. They'll kill for Trump. They'll kill for Trump. He's done. He'll either get stabbed and not stabbed in a humane way, stabbed where he dies a painful death, or poisoned, or he'll have his food poisoned. I mean, geez. I have seen prison cells after somebody got through stabbing someone where the prison cell was literally red. The walls were red. The mirror was red. The bed was red. The sink and toilet and bathroom, the bathing facilities, the shower was red, 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 red. That was blood. And those people who died a slow and painful death, or they're still alive. And the watchers didn't give a damn. This guy is in for hell. And I'm not here saying that it should happen. Due process has been done. But you know what? If it happens, hopefully there will be an example for these leftists that if you think that you can kill someone or try to kill someone like Donald Trump, or try or successfully kill someone like Charlie Kirk, or anybody, or try and succeed or fail to kill someone like me because you think right is on your side. Listen, you're delusional. You are heavily delusional, and what will await you is a vicious fate. I mean, and a lot of these leftists are very effeminate. These leftists, every time I see a leftist commit a crime and I see their face, they look very effeminate. They're people who could never do anything without a weapon. And when they have no weapon, they are so vulnerable. And and this is sickening for me to say this, but a lot of people in prison like that sort of thing. When you look effeminate and you look vulnerable, ooh, they love that sort of thing. You're the type of person who will be turned into the prison bitch. I've seen it. I've seen it. You will be somebody's property. He will, whenever he's feeling frisky, or he or she, or I've been in a he prison. I don't know about she, but he, and a lot of these guys are men. If he's feeling frisky, he'll just take you and say, "Hey, boy, come into the bathroom with me. I'm gonna do something to you." And if you try to complain, oh my God, you will get the beating of a lifetime. So leftists, look, the fact of the matter is that I am advocating that people on the right defend themselves. And look, if somebody tries to come into my house and hurts me because of my, YouTube channel or my beliefs. It's a leftist trying to come to me and looking especially for me. And you're putting me in danger, my family in danger, my neighbors in danger. I know what the police are like. They don't care about us. I'm going to take you down and I'll go to prison if I have to. And I'll tell you, people who go to prison for protecting themselves and protecting their properties and for protecting their life and their freedom of speech, they are not as vulnerable to these type of vicious attacks that I've been talking about as others. Those kind of people are respected in jail. And even if we're not, I'm prepared. I've been there before. I've done it. I've been hit in jail. I've been beaten in jail. I've beaten people in jail. I've done it. And I'm ready to do it again. I saw the video of Charlie Kirk being shot. And I know what leftists are like. I have my channel again, and it's probably irritating the shit out of leftists. And a lot of leftists know where I live. And I'm sure in the next near future, a lot of people will try to come to my house. They'll be subtle at first, but some of them will, and I'll try to stop them. I'll try to get the law, but they won't do anything. But a lot of them will hear it and they'll go even more. They'll be more emboldened. And I'm telling you, listen, I will get you. I am not somebody who goes out seeking people to hurt. But if you try to hurt me, I'm going to protect myself. And that's all I have to say with this video. This is the